Today is the start of the final phase. How exciting is that? After all the work you've been doing until now, it is almost time to present, to showcase what you've done, and to maybe win and get first, second, third place, get the prize. So exciting stuff await you in these upcoming 2 weeks. So I would like to first start with Mr. Adel Al Ansari from BP, so he can welcome you all back in, and then we take it from there. Adel.
Thank you, Nada. Can you hear me and see me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today. I think it's a real pleasure to see all the students gathered around our program, the GreenTech Innovators program, supported by our partner DRAC. It sits at our social investment commitment to empowering young people and supporting solutions to real-world environmental challenges aligned to the Kuwait 2035 vision. Before I say anything else, I want to say, how incredibly proud I am of you guys. I think, the last few months have been very difficult, and we've felt the uncertainty and pressure of the crisis. And what stood out to me was your courage and your resilience and strength. What really inspired me the most is, I discovered that weeks into the crisis, many of you were eager to keep showing up, to keep learning, and to stay engaged in the program. And, it's that kind of willingness to push forward and stay curious, to keep believing in your ideas really says to me so much about who you guys are and the generation you represent. So thank you to all of you and good luck. And over to you, Neda. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Adel. Exactly. This is the sentiment here. We are all very proud of you, and we can't wait to support you until we get to the end. Please rename yourself with your name and the name of your team if you haven't done so yet. And we will be starting. Our agenda for today is short. It's going to be over 1 hour. We will go through a presentation or a short webinar that we usually do over several days for startups, for people who have pitches that are of very high value that they need to present. So you're going to get what people usually get in the corporate world. These are skills that are essential for you as you start moving forward and going into college. And you never know, you might be starting your own startups with people in college or the same people you are working with now in high school. These are skills that you need to have, and they will help you a lot as you move forward. So to start with, I'm going to share my screen. I will ask you a few questions as we go along the way. Winning your final pitch. Your idea is now an actual project, an actual product maybe, an actual application or a platform. Now we're going to talk about how you can highlight this impact and make it clear for everyone. So here we go. The journey starts. Why do you need to master this pitch? In the future, anytime you're going to ask someone to be your partner, to fund you, if you are a startup, if you want to have a business deal with anyone, if you want to convince your parents of something, you have to do a pitch. So the pitch is the same, the topic is different, the skill is important, and you're going to need it everywhere. So the main 3 things that you need to focus on in your pitches: first, connection with your audience. Make sure your message is very clear. And lastly, what you need to be mindful for is to be confident when delivering. We will touch upon all of these today quickly through our 1 hour together. First of all, we will talk about crafting your powerful introductions, building compelling presentation bodies, closing with impact. I will tell you a very nice world class case study about pitching that will change your perspective about it. We'll talk about the key principles, and at the end, preparation strategy. I will go through the rubric for your pitch video and your presentation. So as you know, in GreenTech Innovators, your final phase is depending on 2 steps and then a third one for some of you. So the first step is your video pitch. This is what you will be sending us ahead of your presentation next week. We need to receive it And you will be also presenting it at the beginning of your presentation. This is around 1.5 minutes, and it should compile the full storyline of what you've done until now. Right after it, you'll get a chance to explain, to go into the details, to give us evidence in a presentation that is 7 minutes, and then we will be asking you questions. These two components are going to be combined so we can choose our top 5 who will actually go and present in front of the judging panel who are from institutions like Kisser, like BP, Idrak, Zain. So we'll have many people that are available there in the final pitch. We want to see which projects had the most effort made and placed into them so they can move with us to the next step. We will start talking about the video pitch. 1.5 to 2 minutes maximum. What should you have in there? And a few facts about videos. I want you to all go to the chat and answer this first question. How long does it take viewers to decide whether to keep watching a video or just scroll up? 3 seconds, 1 second, 3 seconds. Nice. 2 seconds, 5 seconds. You are these people, you are viewers. You are looking at videos every day on your phones. And that is true. 3 to 8 seconds are what decides whether people are going to actually continue watching your video or will scroll up. So 3 to 8 seconds. Next question, get ready. What percentage of viewers can a video with a strong opening retain after 30 seconds? Which means if you had a strong opening, regardless of what comes afterwards, what is the percentage of people that you can retain? They will stay there for 30 seconds just because of your strong opening. 70%, 75, 80, 30, 50. Well, you're very, very close. You're being very, very close with your answer. 80 to 90. Let's see. 65%, the study shows, just because of a strong opening, they are willing to give you 30 seconds of their attention, just because of your strong opening. Next question, how long does it take often for judges to form a first impression? How much time does it take for the judges to form a 15 second, 1 minute, 15 something? 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. How much time will the judges give you before they judge you? First impression. I go back to the first impression, which is very hard to change later. So 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 45, Ghala is saying. Any more answers? 1 minute. Here is the hard truth, under 10 seconds. As soon as you start, you have 10 seconds in order for the first impression to be already done with the judges. You can change it later. It will not be too late, but the first impression is given in the first 10 seconds. So if your audience feels something in the first 10 seconds, if you are able to connect emotionally to this audience in the first 10 seconds, you've already won half your pitch. That is how important your opening is. The winning video is usually not the one with the best idea. Keep that in mind. It's the one that is clear, convincing, and impossible to ignore. Okay? It's a video that stayed with me, that said something special, that touched me emotionally. So, crafting your powerful introduction, you have 3 things to focus on. First of all, in your introduction, you need to grab the attention. That's why we open with a hook. The hook is usually a surprising fact, a provocative question, a compelling story that demands focus. That's one. Second, build credibility. Why do the judges need to listen to you? Who are you? Do you have certificates? Do you have degrees? Are you a PhD holder? Maybe not, but you are still credible. Why? Because you've experienced this topic that you are talking about. You've researched it deeply. You have genuine expertise. For 4 months, you've been working on it, and you are the digital generation. So you always have something new to teach us Show us how. And then last part, you need to establish the purpose and the context of your full presentation. Why this matters now, and then why should it be a priority for the audience? Why should they give you the highest grades? Why should they write your name down and put a circle around it to come back to it later and ask more about you, specifically these people who presented? Why? You need to give them that reason. So we will talk a little bit more about crafting your hook. The hook creates curiosity and it triggers emotion. If it's just curiosity, doesn't work. If it's just emotion, doesn't work. Questions, if you start with a question, you are 20% more to engage your audience. Stories, if you start with a story that is interesting, 7 areas of the brain of the judges are going to work with you. If you just state a fact, 2 areas of the brain will work with you. But if you are telling a story in an interesting way, you're going to have 7 areas of the brain of the judges working with you. Emotional openings increase recall by 70%. If I go home and tell my kids about something that I heard in your presentation, that's a winning point for you. That's 70% recall that I will get if I felt something during what you were presenting. So focus on that. Let's start with the hook. I have this hook that a student, let's say, gave, which is a question. What if the air we breathe in Kuwait is affecting our health more than we realize? Can you tell me in the chat, is this a strong or a weak hook? What do you think about this hook? Moderate. Some people find it weak. Strong. Something like that, that is a question, is one of the strong hooks. Yes, people are going to think a little bit more because you are touching on their health, which is the most important thing anyone can think of. Okay, so yes, you can start with a question. Second hook, hi, we are the team, any one of your team's names, and today we will present our idea. That's my opening. Yep, exactly. If I just start like any other group can start, like anyone else can start, that's a weak opening. This hook, please. Our project is about sustainability in Kuwait. I did some moderation with my voice. You did not like that? Okay, it's still weak. Still weak. It's not about the moderation in my voice. It's about how interesting I am to my audience. Next hook. Kuwait produces over 1.5 kilogram of waste per person every day. What happens to all of it? You like that one. Do you know what happens to all of it? Some of you, based on your research, you might know already, correct? So that's a good question because people are going to be interested to know more. And I gave a number, 1.5 kilograms of waste. So people now are trying to visualize that 1.5 kilogram in their head. So how much is that? Do I actually produce 1.5 kilograms? You are making them wonder a little bit in their head. Yes, it is a strong hook. Next, a few weeks ago, I watched a garbage truck pass by our street. Nothing unusual until I realized everything we threw away that week was still there, just somewhere else. What do you think about this opening? Abdullah Anizi from Hydra Do, I'm gonna wait for your opening. You're finding everything weak. I'm gonna wait for your opening, Abdullah. Also, Green Cycle, Muhammad Amir, I'm waiting for your opening. I want to know how strong it can get. It's a challenge. All right, so this is storytelling, and it is one of the types of the hook that, okay, that was his first time. All right, good. Storytelling is a good way to start a presentation. So, practicing, once you've decided what your hook is going to be, practice, practice, practice. The person who's giving this introduction needs to rehearse in front of a mirror, in front of the team, on a Zoom call with the team. Watch your body language, facial expressions, gestures. Take feedback from your team, take feedback from your parents. Time yourself, refine, refine, refine until every word earns its place. Until I'm not just reading a sentence, I'm giving a statement. So you need to be very confident while doing that, projecting confidence and authenticity. This is the hook. Those are the first, maybe the hook will take 1 minute from your full presentation, the 7 minutes. Maybe in the video it will take 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but this is where you're going to put the most effort in order to hold your audience to move forward. So, establishing credibility, we just discussed it. You are not going to show off your credentials, but you are going to focus on your experience, your deep understanding, your preparation. We spent a long time preparing this. Which organizations have we collaborated with to come up with these values for you? Who is doing that elsewhere? You can give examples of people outside Kuwait that are doing something similar, of big names that are thinking of doing it, of projects that you based your product on them. So this will give you credibility in front of your judges. The body of your pitch, defining the problem. This is where clarity becomes very critical. Those audience that are listening to you, they have different expertise. Not all of them are experts in AI. Not all of them are experts in environment. So I need to find the most clear, concise, precise way that will relay the impact of my solution to the problem. So I need to use real-world examples. Make the problem a big part of what you are pitching. Because once the people understand the urgency, how scary the situation is with your problem, they are going to be more prone to listen to the solution. Because if you jump directly to telling them what a perfect world you're going to create, they might not care. You have to first spend enough time explaining what's wrong, why there is a problem, why it's impacting us, quantify the impact of this problem, and then you come to tell them what are the steps I'm going to take, how can we help you to solve this problem, make it impossible to ignore. So, 3 things to keep in mind. Notice today I'm going to say a lot of threes. 3 things to keep in mind. Define the core mechanism when you're talking about your solution. What does it actually do? Explain the implementation. How will it work in practice? Even if you can demonstrate the implementation, that's even better and much better. Show the outcome. What specific results will it deliver? So every time you say something, try to think in your head, so what? This is what the judges are going to be thinking. Try to search for an answer, for something to make it more clear. Rephrase until it is crystal clear in your heads and for the audience. So once you made the problem big, urgent, impactful, and now you come to the solution, make sure you are accurate, you do a demonstration, you give clear implementation steps. So what I would like you to do now, just as we started, I have breakout rooms with the names of each one of the groups. We're just going to take 3 minutes. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time on this. I just want you to practice being clear. So I want the teams in one sentence only, to put what is your problem and what is the solution that you are giving. And remember, who will it help? So you will follow the sample that I put on the screen. We help who? You're going to tell me who your solution is helping. Solve which problem by doing what? In one sentence, you have 3 minutes to write your idea. You can take a screenshot, you can write it down. We help who? So who's your target people that are going to benefit from your project? Solve what problem? State the problem by doing what? What is your solution? The clearest, the simplest way to explain your solution. All right, I'm going to open the breakout rooms. You look at the name of your team and then you go and you join that team. So if you don't find your room, just tell me. All rooms Excellent. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone.
That assists.
So what we will be doing now is either you're going to raise your hand so I can unmute you and you tell me your sentence, or you are going to type it in the chat if you don't wish to say it out loud. I don't mind. So decide how do you wanna share, and then if you want to say it out loud, please raise your hand so I can unmute you. We should have 10 participations. Okay, Green Cycle, here we go. Please go ahead, Green Cycle.
We help people turn recycled bottles into real rewards through our AI-powered recycling machine.
People, so everyone.
Yeah, everyday people.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. Root Sense.
All right. So this is ours. We helped occupied people in Kuwait counter the difficulties of growing plants by supplying them with technology that provides easy to access information to take care of their plants.
Okay, so it's for plant owners. Thank you, Root Sense. 10 planters.
Can I do a sentence more of like a hook, you know?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you know that 80 to 90% of plants are unable to grow in Kuwait due to climate change? Our project is the main purpose of our project is to be able to plant any type of plant in Kuwait without relying on outside importation.
Okay, so you started with a very great hook, and if you had more time, I'm sure this will be a lot more refined and to the point. Excellent. Thank you. Hydro Thinkers.
So our pitches, we help all people in Kuwait solve water consumption by creating an accessible app that tracks water consumption, awards, and gives an open eye to those who don't see it.
Nice. I like it. Thank you very much. And she specified people in Kuwait. Great. Terra, I can't see the end of it. So Terra, Mayar, it's yours. Terra Scan.
TerraScan helps Kuwaiti environment by solving the everyday waste pollution in Kuwait by detecting roads and identifying undisposed waste through advanced camera system.
Advanced camera. Great. It looks very clear. The solution looks clear and easy to understand. Shajara, Tariq.
So we believe in Kuwait, energy use is high and plastic consumption is everywhere, but we think that there is no fun or engaging way to motivate people to change. So even when people want to help, they just don't know where to start.
So that's the problem. That's true. But you didn't say how you solved it.
Okay, I can keep on going, but I said spoilers.
Okay, you want to keep it. You want to keep it.
Also,
Spoilers.
that's kind of a hook. He hooked us, and we want to know what's going
You
on
hooked
next.
us, exactly. We're
But you
interested now.
بعدين.
We'll listen to it in the actual presentation. Thank you so much, Tara. All right, so those were great, simple sentences where you were trying to explain your solution. But I would like to ask you to take your time to simplify anything that you have put that is technical in your presentation. Make sure you spend some time simplifying it for everyone to understand with any technical background. All right, everything we just said is going to be applying to the video and to your 7-minute presentation. Just in the presentation, we would expect to see more supporting evidence about your solution. So we would love to see a demo. We would love to see a prototype. If users have used already what you have come up with, give us some user insights. Those are considered evidence. Evidence doesn't have to be only numbers. It could be data and statistics and real examples. It could be countries using similar solutions, companies already succeeding, proven models, and your demo would be very helpful here. So remember that when you hook them and you got their emotions, this opens their minds and their hearts, but they are not going to vote for you unless you give them evidence in your presentation that yes, these evidence validate their choice of you. This evidence that you will give will let the judges feel relaxed when they write down your name as top 3 or top 5, because you hooked them at the beginning emotionally, But it was not just emotional. It was logical as well, because you provided them with the evidence later on to say, yes, this is the team that I trust and I want to work with. So there is a very important thing that you need to keep in mind. Anticipate objections. Put yourself in the shoes of the judges. So I just mentioned this problem, but there are, let's say, many other people who are doing the same on the market. Don't wait until the judges tell you this in the questions. Mention it somewhere in your presentation and then say how you are different. What makes you unique? Why is the timing perfect for this? So anticipate questions about cost, feasibility, timeline, the competition on the market, and try to incorporate answers to this in your presentation. Also manage risks. What are the risks of this product failing or this project failing? Mention them and say how you plan to avoid falling into these traps or these risks. So make sure you are always confident addressing obstacles. It's not a weak point. It just shows that you're a good project manager because you thought of the risks and you thought of the objections before they actually happened. Trust is very important. People want to help or want to win people they like. So if you are trustworthy, if you showcase trust, the judges are going to want to choose you. Be transparent. As we said before, you don't have all the answers. At the end of the day, it's just a project that you've worked on really hard. There are a lot of things that could be changed. There are a lot of improvements that could be done. Be open to that. Listen, be coachable, listen to feedback. If they are giving you more advice about your project, that means they are interested and they want it to get better. Don't take it in a bad way. The opposite, ask more. Engage with them when they get interested and they are giving you advice, because this is how you move to the next step. People who are coachable, who are open to feedback, who are ready to get better are the ones that are going to move forward. So honesty about the limitations is very important. Closing with impact. You've discussed, you gave the evidence, you explained your solution, you explained the problem. Now you reach to a point where you have the final opportunity to leave something with the audience. Don't rush it. Don't just say, thank you, done. No, 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 no. Say, give a statement at the end, something that reinforces your main idea, at the same time concise, not repeating yourself, and say it in a memorable language. Take your time, pause, say it, and then pause again. Give them this confidence at the end, and make sure you don't miss to include a call to action. Without a call to action, your judges are just audience watching a movie. They're not involved. If you include them in the action, you ask them to do something afterwards, you ask them to support you in some way, they will be more engaged and they will feel that there is a direction. These people know what they're doing. This project is not ending here. It might have a future and I'm part of it. So your call to action should answer 3 questions. What are you asking for? Why should they care? And then what is the next step? What can they do? And what will you be doing in order to actually do this action? So at the end, it's your final impression. Pause, say your final sentence, pause again, smile, and let the judges tell you thank you. Okay? Don't just cut your presentation. Take your time. There is a nice, if you want, formula for the call to action, which is we are ready to do something. And with your support, we can have a bigger impact. So we are ready to do some change to make a difference, but we cannot do it on our own. We will need your help. You are part of this, so we can make it bigger. So this is a good way to end it. I want to tell you this story, and I hope you like it as much as I did. In the 1979, this is a case study where that changed all of the pitching industry, all of the marketing and PR industry. The British Rail was in a very terrible condition. The trains were old, dirty, late. The employees of British Rail were indifferent. They were always busy. They didn't care about customers. They had zero customer care. And the situation was really, really bad. So the board gathered and decided we need a PR campaign that would pull us out of this bad reputation that's happening to us everywhere. So they invited several PR companies to see their pitches. They are going to pitch their PR. What would they suggest for British Rail to get better? So at that time, Saatchi was a very big marketing company, and it was like the one doing all of the PRs for everyone. And it was also part of the people invited to pitch there. So everyone thought it's definitely going to go to this big company. We don't even have to try to present a pitch, or we'll just present to say we presented. The mindset of a small company called ABM was different. ABM said, this will be the most important campaign on nationwide, like on a national level. We're not going to let it go. We have to think in an innovative way. We have to find a way to penetrate and to make an impact during our pitch. So the day of the pitch came, and the board members of British Rail came to ABM in order to see their pitch. On the day they knocked on the door like 3-4 times. Nobody opened. On the 5th time, someone opened the door, and then they asked, we have a meeting with your manager, Mr. Michael. And the receptionist was smoking, and she was on the phone, and then she pointed with her cigarette to where they should sit in a very indifferent way, very disrespectful way. So they went, looking still surprised, to the waiting room. They found it filthy, disorganized, very badly put. So they barely found a place to sit. They sat in there and they were waiting. And then an executive came in with an umbrella and asked to see also the same manager. The receptionist was filing her nails this time, and she pointed at this person to go and sit with the other executives and in the same filthy place. He got angry. He looked at the place. He said, no way I'm staying here. And then he left angrily. So what did the executives do? He left angrily. Why are we still sitting? Let's go. They stood up and they wanted to leave. As soon as they stood up to leave, the owner of the company, Michael, opened the door and told them, see, this is what your customers are going through every day. You are at the right place. Let's discuss together how we can change this. So instead of giving a pitch and showing them the situation that they were facing, that the customers, from the customer's point of view, he made them live it. He made them live the experience. It was a disruptive way that changed pitching forever. Since then, all companies compete on how innovative they can be in creating an experience during presentations and pitches. So suddenly a delivery man can come in with the product of a certain company when they're presenting, or a delivery man with a story, role play happening right inside the pitch. Someone could start with very dull slides on the screen, and then as the judges start to fall asleep, a FaceTime call comes up on the screen, and then he takes it in front of them, because what can he do else? He wants to close it. He takes it in front of them. But the FaceTime call will be part of the pitch. So this is what we call anomaly. A moment in your pitch where you wake up the judges, you shake them. We are still here. Please focus with us. Those are the moments that they will remember. You don't have to go crazy and do something extreme, but you can still always remember that I need a certain surprise factor, a certain idea into my pitch that will keep the judges with me. So I can't focus more on how likability wins. People are going to choose the team that will remind them of colleagues they worked with before. Colleagues that put a lot of effort, colleagues who are genuine, who are collaborative, who are energized, who have passion for what they do. So when they look at you, they need to see these people that they like in you. They need to see these excited, enthusiastic, authentic individuals, and this is how you can win your pitch. 3 core principles. Your presentation is not your pitch. The slides are not everything. You have a script, You write it, you rehearse it, you prepare it. The last part you prepare is the slides. Those slides are just there as a visual. Make sure you are the presentation, not the slides. Your tone, the way you speak, the story you are telling, how well you are prepared, not the slides. Always have humility, which means forget your ego at the door. No matter how strong you think you are, how well you are prepared, when you go inside, be open. Have an open mind. Be kind to your teammates. Smile to each other. Help each other. If someone is stuttering, don't show that you got angry. No. Smile. Help them relax. Okay? And remember that people who get nervous, it's not always a bad thing. When you get nervous, you are winning the judge's empathy. Sometimes people tend to listen more and focus more with people who are nervous because they want them to finish until the end. So if you get nervous, don't think it's the end of it. If you get nervous, there are techniques that can help you reduce that nervousness. So breathing techniques, breathing deep before you come up and you start. The power posture, standing tall and getting ready, getting your brain ready to present. And then if after all of this, you still get nervous when you start, no problem. Remember, this is a relatable point and your judges will not take it in a bad way. And then create an anomaly, wake up your audience with something unexpected during the pitch. So to increase your chances to win, when you're telling a story, so it doesn't become too long or too boring, there is a formula that is called the story coaster. So it's not just a story, it's a roller coaster in the form of a story. So I will tell you quickly how this model works. So this model is that because people remember stories, not slides, when I'm telling my story, I need to have different levels in my story. I start first, as we said, with the problem and how horrific it is. Then I move them directly to a high point where the future can be utopia, clear and perfect. And then I go back down to the obstacles. Why am I not able to get from A to B, the problem to the solution? What are the obstacles? What are the challenges? The reality check. And then I go back to a high note. But don't worry, we are here. We have steps. We have a solution for this problem. We are going to take action. And then you go back to a low point. We can't do it alone. No matter how hard we try, it's not a one-team task. It needs all of us to be together. And then you go to the last part. We have the expertise, we have the product. Come on board with us and help us make more people use it or make it more famous. So turning the inspiration into a belief. So this is what we call roller coaster, going up and down with the stories, bad, good, bad, but we end on a good note. Okay, so this is what we call the story coaster. If you like it, it would be nice to use it during your pitches. Another thing that would increase your chance to win is following the etiquette for presenting through Zoom. Please keep in mind, before you come into the Zoom presentation, to have assigned clear roles for each one of you. So one of you will be the host that you will tell us ahead of time. We will give a co-hosting rights for this person. He will be managing the sharing. And you need to send a drag, your presentation ahead of time, just in case something goes wrong, we can launch it from our side. Open a Zoom meeting with your team and present on Zoom while you are there and rehearse on Zoom so you can make sure everything is running smoothly, camera, sound, the transitions, your video is running with the sound on, etc. No whispering or side conversations during the pitch. Make sure it is very well rehearsed, that you don't need to do these small talks on screen and everybody is hearing you. Of course, dress professionally. This also still matters when you are online. How can you use AI to enhance your pitch? I have a few ideas and you can come up with more because you know the tools of AI are now every day we have a new tool. So what I would think would be a good idea, generating compelling visuals for your slides, for your video, creating, for example, original background music. You take your pitch or your solution, you put it in an AI system and you tell them, how does this sound and you get the AI to produce original music for you that could be used in your video and could be used in your platform and your presentation. Okay, so it will help you practice with real-time coaching. Has anyone here heard of Ovation.ai? If you have, please write in the chat. Ovation.ai. Anyone heard of it? Yes, Ovation.ai. All right, this is a platform that you can use on your computer to rehearse giving a pitch. The platform is AI-based. It will put you in front of a judging panel. It will let you give your pitch about any topic you want, and then it will grade you. It will give you a complete report on how well you did, how many times you said, how was your pace, fast, slow. It will time you. It will give you a lot of tips on how to improve yourself, and it's completely free. It's called Ovation.ai. So I would advise you to practice using it before the actual pitch day. So I urge you to use AI only to enhance your work. Please don't let it do all the work for you. Otherwise, all of your projects are going to be the same. Make sure you keep your authenticity and use AI only as an enhancement tool. This will be the rubric for your presentation and video all together, so we can choose who are going to be the top 5 to go present in front of the bigger judging panel. So we will look at your innovation and creativity. AI application. Is AI central in driving innovation in your project? Relevant to Kuwait's challenges? STEM integration. How did you demonstrate using STEM? Feasibility and practical impact. Is this something that is realistic or it's just a theory? So we need to see real world impact. Presentation and clarity. Was your presentation engaging enough? Polished? Were your team coordinated correctly? Did you prepare ahead of time? Did you collaborate well in front of the judges? And then your pitch video, is it highly compelling, memorable pitch, and then excellent delivery on the video? And now I'm going to open the floor for questions. And I will remind you for the last time, please be authentic and show us who you are and what you have worked on, not just what AI has prepared. So questions, we're here for you. You can raise your hand and I can call on you to ask your questions. Root sense.
Yeah, thank you for letting me ask my question. So my question is basically, so what if our pitch consists of people like the pitch, how in the British Railroad thing, how would we effectively transfer our presentation from that pitch to our actual presentation?
You mean from the video or from, I didn't understand clearly your question.
Like,
Noor,
how
if
can
you
we
did, please jump in.
So my question
Okay.
is, how can we effectively transition from a really eye-catching pitch to a presentation?
Okay, from the video pitch to the presentation, you mean?
Yeah.
How will the transition take place? Okay, so first of all, the videos are something that we need from all of you because it will be used later on for voting for the People Choice Award. So it will be posted, there will be some voting on it. Also, the judges will give their judges award specifically for the video. So it's going to be used also for something else. But what we wanted from you to do is to hook us visually in a way where you're not just giving a presentation. Once we see the video, we are more interested, we have some questions, and the presentation will answer those questions. So this is where your creativity will come in on how to transition from this video and then tell us, you've seen, for example, what our problem is, you've seen the solution, let me tell you more how we came up with it, for example. So the details, the technicalities on how you came up with that can go into the presentation. Did
So
I
if I
answer
can
your question?
clarify a bit more as well, your pitch video is basically a 1.5 minute video, kind of like summarizing what is your problem that you're tackling, how are you tackling it, what did you do? but in a pitch way where like you grab the audience to want to listen more. And then your presentation is when you go into detail. So here's what we did, here's what we studied, here's what we've done over the past few months. This is where you give the evidence and build the trust and credibility, like Nada said. But your pitch is just to kind of get us like hooked onto what your idea is initially.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Lean
you.
from ClickCycle.
First of all, how are you guys?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm great. I just wanted to ask you about how since we're doing it on Zoom, right?
Hmm.
Don't you think doing it on Zoom is going to like, how are we gonna emotionally connect with the judges over Zoom? I feel like we can't build the empathy, we can't build that credibility like you were mentioning in your presentation over Zoom, like harder.
Lean, you cut up a bit towards the end, but I think we got your question, and basically you're worried about connecting to the judges via Zoom emotionally and getting your point across. هو صح, unfortunately Zoom maybe does decrease it to a certain point and you would have wished to have a human element or like in person. But with Zoom, you can still, this is why we gave you other techniques that you can use, such as مثلا the story technique, you know what I mean? Building the story with the way that you explain it and also visuals, just like Nada, for example, throughout this whole presentation. I think for the most part, she kept you guys hooked because of her tone changing, using her hands, going into the visuals that she showed throughout the presentation. For what we lack in the personal effect, we can also make up for in terms of our presentation and how we present it. And Nada, if you want to add anything else.
That's exactly what I had in mind. So there is always a way, even through the screen, you can still connect with people. And at this time, there is no way to do it in person. So it's not something that is in our hands. It's actually regulations that we have to follow.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee. Abdurrahman.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, so the May 3rd, 4th, and 5th is only a video, and then the presentation is for the people who are chosen?
No, this is a very good question. Thank you for asking, in case anyone else is also wondering about this. So May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all of you guys are presenting. This is a full-on presentation as if you would have presented in person, but it's going to be online. In the beginning, أول ما you present, as soon as you come into the meeting, you will play your pitch video. Even you can go about how you want to do it. You want to introduce yourselves first. You want to go ahead right away into your pitch video. This is up to you. But the way that it should be played out is your pitch video is played in the beginning. After your pitch video is played, however you guys want to do that, you go into your presentation for 7 minutes. So pitch video is 1.5 to 2 minutes, and then automatically you go into your presentation. Here's what we did, here's what we've been doing, and you present as if you were presenting normally, Yani.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. If anyone else has questions about the event, so basically this is going to be May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. By May 5th night to May 6th at the latest, we will announce the top 5 that will be presenting for the following week. May 14 is going to be the final event where the top 5 will present in front of a panel of judges. And then we're going to have first, second, and third place from them. But also a part of why we also wanted to do the pitch video is حتى لو you guys don't make the top 5, even if you don't make the top 5 or the top 3, your pitch video will be played in front of all of the judges. And you still get to win a People's Choice Award. And also, more than that, the judges get to see what you did, even though you don't present. They have an idea. If any of them are interested maybe in your pitch video, they want to know more about you guys, we can connect you. So it's also, in a way, like a networking way for you guys to have participation. That's why it's really important we emphasize a lot on the pitch video, because it will be shown to us May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and it'll also be shown in the final presentation whether or not you make it to the top 5.
There is one thing that I need to add here. All of the teams will get specialized awards. So based on the uniqueness of your topic, you're going to get an award. So on the final event, not only the first, second, and third are going to get their monetary award plus their trophies, everyone, all the teams will get specialized awards with something special about the project that they did or something that stayed with us from what you have presented. So you're going to all get specialized awards. Getting here is a big I don't know, it's a big achievement for all of you. You know, at the beginning we had so many proposals and we chose you, and you guys chose us because you stayed until now with all of the situation, with everything that you've been through, with schools going online. You wanted to do your passion projects, and we listened to you and we continued this project because we want you to present at the end. So we want to give you all the chance to present, to go with something that you can present to your colleges also next year, an award that represents the strength of the project that you've done. So we want to thank you so much for being here, for still putting the effort. And next week, we can't tell you how excited we are to see what you have prepared so far. If there are any more questions, Noor and I are here. I'm not sure if the link for booking your appointment is in the chat, but we're going to add it. So please, if you did not book a session yet, 3, 4, and 5 May, please book your session. And there is a question. I have a question about our pitch video. Do we have to show our real product that we made, or can we make an AI video about our product? Your product, because the judges are going to ask you to try it. If they see something in the video, they would ask you, wow, this is amazing. Can we try this? And it will be nice to put a QR code where the judges can actually scan and use your product if this is something that was already developed. This will increase your engagement with the audience and will increase your chance of winning the pitch. Okay, so don't put AI videos that are unrealistic or something that does not exist. Make sure you showcase what you came up with so far, not just a conceptual idea. The calendar app is already, the link for the calendar app is in the chat. So please make sure you book your session. We have already around 8 groups that booked. Please, whoever is remaining, make sure you book your sessions. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Noor and I are still here. Adil also is here. If one of you has any questions, we will answer them. Otherwise, we wish you all the best in your final exams. We know many of you are studying for APs now. Good luck to all of you. And we're here by email if any question comes up to your mind when you're preparing from now until next week.